the brain capacity of humans has declined by 10%. Lactose tolerance has risen sharply in populations, and the rates of wisdom teeth development and absence are increasing. We are probably still in the midst of these evolutionary after effects today. And some recent discoveries, like an extra blood vessel, increased persistence of the median artery, an extra bone, reemergence of the lumbar ribs, and an extra organ. The recently discovered salivary gland, about which we know very little, also seem to be signaling that human evolution is far from over. Today we will explore this issue from the perspectives of genetic mutation and natural selection. Every time a sperm cell divides during its formation, mutations occur due to replication errors. The older the age, the more mutations there are. Today, the average age of fatherhood is increasing all over the world. As geneticist James Crow said, the sperm cells of old men are the biggest mutational disaster, threatening the health of the entire population. So for most men, freezing your sperm when young is not a bad idea to solve this problem. But note when I say freeze, I mean at a qualified professional medical facility with the ultra-low temperature of 196 degrees Celsius. Your home freezer won't work and may make your fridge smell bad, but increasing genetic mutations is one thing. We also need to look at natural selection. As humans entered the 21st century, the tremendous progress in productivity and medical standards has reduced the mechanism of environmental filtering to extremely low levels. Has human evolution stopped then? No, because what came with it was an increase in the broad mechanism of natural selection. After all, civilization has already become a part of nature today. There are two main rules of narrow natural selection. Rule number 1, eliminate individuals carrying harmful genes. Rule number 2, retain individuals carrying beneficial genes. But advancements in medical standards led humans to miraculously develop rule number 3, retain individuals carrying harmful genes. For example, the widespread use of C-sections now allows babies with overly large heads that previously could not survive to be safely born. Today, countries around the world are seeing rapidly rising C-section rates. It's foreseeable that big-headed babies will become more and more common among humans in the future. With medical intervention hindering natural selection, large numbers of humans carrying harmful genes can now smoothly pass those genes down through generations. Isn't the human body devolving then? Should we eliminate all harmful genes? We can't, because mutation-led evolution is short-sighted. It can only see the environmental changes of the present. The prokaryotes that adapted to extremely low oxygen levels 2 billion years ago could not have predicted the great oxidation event to come. The dinosaurs that adapted to the Mesozoic era 65 million years ago could not have predicted the asteroid impact. And when humans evolved to lose the ability to synthesize vitamin C, they could not have predicted that one day Columbus would set sail across the ocean. When a species enters a new environment, ruthless natural selection leads it to become increasingly adapted. When it reaches peak compatibility with that environment, it also reaches the lowest compatibility with other environments. Any environmental change could lead to the extinction of that species. That is why species constantly emerge and perish. But a species' previously harmful genes could become beneficial genes that save the entire species when there are violent environmental changes in the future. Genetic diversity is a backup plan for species to hedge against environmental changes. For example, the gene that causes sickle cell anemia in humans is harmful. But African countries today have much higher rates of this gene because it also effectively protects against lethal malaria infections. Many scientists have made predictions about the future evolution of humans. Some examples. In the future, human fingers will be 50% longer on average, while useless palms and feet will get smaller, heads and eyes will get bigger, or that due to instability of the male Y chromosome, men will disappear in 120,000 years, and women will reproduce through parthenogenesis with 2 eggs. That theory about men being useless might be where all this comes from. But with genetics technology advancing by leaps and bounds, even these far-fetched evolutionary ideas may not happen. With animal and plant genetic modification happening daily, humans are getting antsy, having been unhappy with their bodies for so long. In essence, you today are living in a 21st century world, with a body from 10,000 years ago. Like running Elden Ring on a 286 computer. In the demands of 21st century society, what traits make humans most competitive? Strong self-discipline to resist temptation, long attention span for work and study. But what is our primitive body actually like? We can hardly concentrate, never able to delay gratification. Addicted to alcohol, nicotine, caffeine, areca nut, and other substances. Can't sleep the second half of nights when not studying. Dead tired in broad daylight when studying. No restraint in eating high-calorie foods. No restraint watching porn. Don't do hard physical labor, yet still have spinal problems. Brushing teeth daily, but wisdom teeth still hurt like hell. Males struggling with sexual urges for life. Anxious over inadequate sexual time. Females discriminated at work for needing maternity leave to raise helpless human babies. All of the above are the inevitable lag and freeze of running high-performance games on low-spec hardware. Today, looking just at genetic technology and not laws, we can already determine a baby's sex, skin color, eye color, and hair color. In 2009, the first genetically screened baby resistant to hereditary breast cancer was born in London. One day in the future, we may even be able to determine the looks, height, fitness, and intelligence of babies. A terrifying day, because genetic modification of babies costs money. Rich people's kids today aren't necessarily outstanding, but in the future, their kids will surely be better looking, run faster, and be smarter. One disturbing reality today is that some countries are gradually relaxing laws in this area. For example, in 2016, the UK approved the world's first human embryo gene editing research. While controversial today, who knows how future generations will see things? 40 years ago, test tube babies were seen as frightening. Today, there are over 5 million worldwide. Will genetic modification companies become the most powerful interest groups in countries someday? Will they lobby and pressure governments? As genetic modification technology commercializes and becomes widespread, costs will surely drop. When the cost of genetic mods to make citizens healthier drops below government healthcare spending, won't cash-strapped governments encourage or even mandate taxpayer-funded mods? Even if medical genetic modification costs decrease or are covered, companies will surely develop more advanced and expensive mods to enhance human abilities. Those will still be profitable. CRISPR is currently the most popular gene editing tool globally. In just a few years, thousands of labs worldwide have mastered this technology, with laws being the only barrier sealing those Pandora's boxes. The above imagines the world in decades or centuries. But what if we daringly imagine thousands of years into the future? As one professor said, the human brain has 86 billion neurons connected by 100 trillion synapses. We can see it as a CPU with 860 billion transistors and 100 trillion nodes. In theory, by recording the real-time activity, we could read minds and directly input signals to alter brain states, even network brains with computers or other brains. Once achieved, the speed of human civilization's evolution may become unimaginably fast, perhaps allowing humans to leave biology behind and settle into virtual digital worlds. Our generation seems to stand at the watershed of species evolution. From 200,000 years ago until now, archaic humans evolved mostly by natural selection. But why should we adapt to nature instead of vice versa going forward? Why let nature select us instead of selecting ourselves? Humans finally seem ready to take over the dominant role in their own evolution. But all of these visions assume humans have fully cast off narrow natural selection. Is that really true? What is the source of this human arrogance? The Industrial Revolution's past 200 years with no disasters eradicating humanity. Does that mean none will happen in future? The average mammalian species lasts 10-20 million years. Imagine you walk by a 400 million year old horseshoe crab at the aquarium, casually chatting about evolution and humanity's epic ascent these past 200 years. It would simply turn away, thinking grasshoppers cannot speak of ice. In 2011, a journalist interviewed London professor Stephanie Jones, asking if there is a danger of humanity becoming arrogant and complacently thinking itself beyond natural selection. But when the next real disaster strikes, natural selection will return. Stephanie Jones said, "I think that's quite likely. We don't know what that disaster could be. One very worrying one is pandemic disease.